Hi everyone, this is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess, and I'm here to do a karmic insight, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get on Patreon and do the follow-up oracle reading. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is interferences within your twin flame union by outside parties, not just the karmic partner that your divine feminine or masculine is being intimate with, but friends, family, coworkers, habits, behaviors, etc. So you can understand what this is from a 5D. So, first of all, you have to understand twin flames are literally it's the 144,000 who were basically ordained to enact judgment, right? To call judgment on individuals who are not in a righteous energy within the book of Revelations. And you guys know that a lot of that book of Revelations come from ancient Egypt, come from the Sibyls, etc., right? Unfortunately, just because of the papacy and what they've done with ancient knowledge and text, they've compiled a lot of this information within the Bible, but several different cultures have a prophecy about twins and them being able to enact judgment and things like that, and then being responsible for enacting judgment on low vibrational souls and spirits that have been causing havoc and chaos on planet Earth, so that they may be trapped in the place of no return and unable to reincarnate and create more havoc. Okay, so that's what you need to understand first and foremost. So, because you're a twin flame, what ends up happening is you have a very powerful energy signature, because a lot of the times you come from a star system outside of just the star system that we're in, that is controlled and maintained by the zodiac, right? Like Arcturus or Pollux or Regulus. You come from higher star systems, even sometimes other galaxies that are consecrated, and the only way that you can come through from those other galaxies is by coming through those high vibrational star systems, right? So it's like going through different doors. Like, for instance, in order to get access to Sirius, you have to pass through Regulus, right? So you just can't like go straight there. You have to pass through different doors and different galactic mansions. And because of that, you have an energy signature, and your energy is configured in a certain way to be able to withstand a lot of the pollution and karmic energies that are on planet Earth. Because unfortunately, planet Earth has turned into a breeding ground for karmics, right? So because of that, the other dark forces that seek to stop that, and they don't want to see high vibrational energies, manifest. Basically, children of Ifshet, children of Apep and Set, low vibrational energies that want to stop the light from coming through. They basically follow twins throughout lifetimes, either using spell work or some type of tether to the twins, right? And that's how they're able to find twins throughout different lifetimes, to be able to try to separate them or harm them or stop them from going on their divine mission. That's how it happens. A lot of the times, the manifestation of this is either through a spell work, either through being born into a toxic or karmic family, by having addictions, or by having karmic partners, or being surrounded by karmic friends and family, or having a karmic job as well, right? So that is what's happening. A lot of your divine masculines, they are trapped with around, they're surrounded, let me not say trapped. They're willingly putting themselves around karmic friends and families and coworkers and workplaces and things like that, because they don't know any better. They don't realize that these forces and these individuals and these circumstances are actually there to stop them from going into union, right? Because the darker forces, they see ahead of time your twin, and that you guys are going to be going into union, because they try to hack your Akashic records or whatnot. So they send karmics years and decades before you even meet your twins, right? Or they purposely, tamper with you and your twins' Akashic records so that you're born into karmic families, right? Or you end up attract having karmic siblings or mothers and fathers or things like that, that would instill within you karmic behaviors that can stop twins from coming into union. So what happens with this family is, a lot of the times the masculine has a mother, a sister, or father that is very karmic towards them, that stops them from going into union, because they put all kinds of garbage or whatnot in their head, or they breed them to think that engaging with karmic partners is actually like true love, because these individuals don't even know what love is. So how they're going to tell your masculine, about how to pick a proper partner, how to pick a divine partner, right? Another thing too is that these family members are jealous of the union because they know they can feel your energy, or they see your picture, or something about you triggers them, and they automatically know, okay, you know what, if this individual is to go into union with her, it's going to stop the codependency, it's going to stop the financial manipulation, it's going to stop the codependency from being able to facilitate here. Because a lot of the times your masculine, they have trauma, they're trauma bonded to their family members. A lot of the times the sister think that that's their second husband, or their mother thinks that that's their second husband, right? Because the emotional I will say, the emotional connection is karmic and it's traumatic. Like I said, they bonded through some type of trauma. Either, they grew up poor together, or they didn't have enough, or something like that. And they always, they promise each other, well, I'm never gonna leave you, and we're always gonna stick together, things like that. So, the masculine has to learn, like, yeah, that's my family, but if they're stopping me from going into union with my twin and stopping me from being on my divine mission, then these are relationships that I need to reconsider. But through losing you, going in separation, or going through tower moments, they realize that their family members are the reason why they're dealing with what they're dealing with now, by listening to distorted information, knowledge, and distorted information, lies, gossip, slander, etc., right, from people who are already biased towards you because they're triggered and they're jealous, and they know that something's going to stop by you being there. Or they feel like, well, if she's in the picture, it's going to stop me from being able to see them, or things like that, because they're codependent. Sometimes these family members even introduce your DM to his karmic, or they keep him together with the karmic, even knowing that it's toxic or traumatic, because they just want to make sure that he's in a trapped and low vibrational state. Because remember, they're being ran by the same entities that are trying to stop the twins from going into union to facilitate the mission. It's not about romance. A lot of the times it's about the divine child that's supposed to come through, or it's about the mission to help uplift humanity. And these family members, these friends, etc., they're stop it. They're designed, they're set up to stop it. And if you look into the birth charts, you'll see it through Saturn, the 6th house, the 12th house, or Lilith, right? Well, let's talk about friends. A lot of the times, these friends that your masculine or your feminine is wrapped up with, they secretly want him or her for themselves. They have a sexual attraction, and instead of them like, because they know that they probably won't be able to get there, they say, well, at least I can just stay friends, and they want to live through the karmic. That's why they tell them to go, no, you should be with the karmic, you guys have been together for so long, because they want to live through the karmic partner. They fantasize about being with your DM sexually, and when they're doing that, they're envisioning themselves in the body of the karmic partner to stay up with your DM, or your or feminine. Or, a lot of the times your masculine's friends or a feminine's friends, they're very, very toxic, and they want to keep your divine masculine in a low vibrational state in order to stop, of course, because they're being used by dark forces, right? Or they want to stop them because they know, like, okay, well, if he starts fucking with her, she's going to wake him up to like our bullshit and our mess, and he's not going to come around us anymore. And whatever they're getting from the DM, they can't get anymore. Whether it's association for popularity, whether it's money, whether it's accolades, whether it's whatever. They know that they're not going to be able to get that if you're in the picture. So they work really hard. They work overtime to make sure that the DM sees you in a low vibrational light. They don't believe in you. They think that you're karmic, when the whole time they're a karmic. A lot of the times too, sometimes the friend wants you. Yes. Sometimes the friend that the DM or the DF is with, they actually want you as a divine twin. So they tell your DM or your DF all this bullshit. Meanwhile, they could be doing love spells on you. They could be doing breakup spells. They could be doing all types of courting magic and stuff like that to bring you close to them, to make you think that they're the divine partner. Some of that has happened to you guys, where you've had your feminine or your masculine friend, best friend at that, doing love spells on you, or telling your DM lies, or saying, oh, let's say for instance they knew your masculine before your masculine knew you. They'll tell all kinds of lies, like, oh, she's a hoe, I had sex with her, to get your masculine to see you in a low vibrational light. And then what ends up happening in the end is your masculine actually goes through different tower moments with these people where he gets to see them for who they are. Then he opens his eyes. He has a very powerful tower and the hanged man moment. He's like, whoa, all these lies, all this gossip, all this slander coming from sometimes even your ex, even your friends. that you stop being friends with or things like that, they're specifically set up and brought into your life to gain information about you or to purposely betray you and go and slander you to your masculine, even your own family members too. You bring them around your masculine, or they meet your masculine or your feminine, then they go and spread gossip, trash, and lies about you to make the masculine not go into union with you. But it's all by design, by the dark forces that know both of your energy signature. A lot of the times too, for the feminine, your mother, or you got mother or your sisters or your brother or whatever, they don't want to see you go into union because they can't be in union. So they go and tell your DM all kinds of lies about you, that you wouldn't be a good partner, that you're salacious, that you're loose sexually, that you're dirty, that you do A, B, C, and D to stop you from going into union. And even though your masculine knows that you don't have a good relationship with your family, etc., etc., they're still going to go eat it up, because that's one of your masculine's lesson. They have to learn discernment. They have to learn how to make decisions for themselves. They have to learn how to build their self-worth. A lot of the times, your DM or your DF is still dealing with past life karma, and the past life karma is manifesting as current life karmics, whether friends, family members, or the karmic partner themselves. And they have to learn how to make decisions for themselves, how to open up their eyes and see things for themselves, and stop letting people dictate shit for them. Because a lot of your masculines are they're kind of wrapped up in popularity politics, association for power, because a lot of the times the feminine is the more spiritual and the masculine is the more material, but they have to learn how to open up their third eye, their spiritual eye. That's why a lot of the times you can even come and tell them, hey, you know what, you need to be mindful of this person, you need to be mindful of that person, you need to be mindful of that person, and they don't listen because they have to learn that lesson on their own. Now, then you're like, okay, well, if they have friends and family members that are karmic, why do they get a karmic partner? Because the karmic partner is there to drain them sexually. Because remember, that's the ultimate form of disenfranchisement, right? Spiritually. And then to facilitate the emotional abuse and mental illness that's caused by the up and down cycles, because the karmic really is there to induce mental instability for the masculine or feminine. That's their whole entire purpose, to be a destroyer, to get the masculine caught up and wrapped up in toxic cycles so they're distracted and not going into union or doing the healing work they need to do. They're all distractions. A lot of the times too, the karmic is even then put there to disenfranchise the children that you're supposed to have with the DM spiritually. By having a child first with your masculine and then you having a child with the masculine or something like that. Remember, when they tie into those bloodlines with the karmic, that's automatic karma. And then you go and have a child after that. That's the whole entire purpose, to create more karmic soldiers. Because now the DM's wrapped up with that karmic's bloodline, right? Then you go and tie into that bloodline. You pick up that karma too. Most of the children that your DM has with the karmic, a lot of the times it was conceived from lies, manipulation. The DM was maybe drunk or under spells, some type of wicked plan. But that's by design, by the dark forces that don't want to see twins go into union. Because imagine, remember, a twin flame is two as one soul from the same soul star, split into two different bodies. Imagine when those two parts come together. Think about Isis, Osiris, and Horus. Asar and Aset and Heru. Two halves get together to create one whole aspect that's greater than both of them combined. You see? That's why they tried to stop the union. It's not because, oh, well, I don't want them to be together and be in love. It's not even about that. It's about what the twins can create when they come together. That's the whole thing. That's going to stop dark forces in their tracks. A lot of the times too, the ancestors will even step in with these karmic children and they'll flip the paternity and the DNA. If your masculine wakes up to the shit and he's like, oh, I see exactly what this is, it starts to do the Wheel of Fortune. It changes the Akashic records and the destiny, because then they wake up to what's going on and then they get activated, you see? So all the different plans that the karmic friends, family, and the karmic partners set up, it gets sabotaged, basically. All the divine is waiting is for the masculine to wake up. Okay, now perfect. Now that you woke up and acknowledge what this is, now we can help you. Now we're going to turn on your intuition. Now we're going to show you who you're dealing with. And then the funny thing is, your masculine, when their third eye opens up, they're scared because they're starting to see things in a completely different light and they think they're going crazy. No, it's your third eye opening. Let it open. Some of your masculines are so used to dealing with toxic, dysfunctional, karmic people, they can't tell divine from a distortion or a karmic. Then you come around and then they become so confused because they're like, this is something completely different than what I'm used to. That's why the karmics work so hard to down your reputation and your character and tell lies and spread slander and gossip and try to make you look crazy. Because they know, the dark forces that are running them know, okay, you know what? You're just one of the karmic soldiers. You're just a pawn on the chessboard to stop this from going down. That's why the karmics as well, they use so much domination spells. Yes, binding magic, conflict spells. They turn on that kill switch to get your DM to go crazy against you. That's the darker forces. And then if they're having sex with the karmic, that's why it's usually the main karmic. The one that they're being intimate with that does all that shit. Because they're binded sexually, it works even stronger than if it was a friend or a family member. That's why a lot of the times you're masculine, they have to go through those tower moments with the karmic and you can't help them. They have to learn that lesson on their own in terms of discernment and having to recognize what's divine from what's dysfunctional and what's distorted. Yeah, it is it is kind of, it's stressful and it's crazy, right? But that's what these dark forces are doing. But you as a divine feminine, because you're spiritually stronger, you have to know that. And that's why you have to keep doing your work. And keep on healing and raising your vibration and not getting wrapped up in any of this karmic bullshit. Because that's what they want. Because at the end of the day, the karmics, it's not you that they're after. Sorry, it's not the masculine that they're after. They're you. They're after you. After they beat up the masculine, embed him with so much karmic energies, fuck his life up, etc., then they send him to you to come and fuck off your life and disenfranchise you. That's how it usually goes. So you need to be on your P's and Q's and recognizing this shit. And if the masculine is siding with those other karmics and letting them do whatever to you, knowing that they're doing magic, playing with them, anything that your twin does to you, it happens to them. So all that they're doing is really working against themselves in the long run. And eventually they realize that. They always do. It always ends up like that. So what ends up happening is the masculine has to really learn then how to become that emperor and stand in their own autonomy and their own power and recognize the bullshit that's going on. Because you're already the empress, right? And you don't care what people think about you. They know that you're the empress too. That's why they go so fucking hard. And they tell the most insane lies and play the most insane games to get your DM to look at you in the most low vibrational light to keep him there. And a lot of the times your DM is surrounded by word witches, sex witches, demons, male friends who get them deeper into sexual perversions. Because it's all by design, by the low vibrational entities that want to see twins not go into union and do the divine mission. A lot of the times when the karmic knows that you're the twin, they know how powerful that connection is. And they know they can't break it. That's why they put all kinds of fucking wicked ass magic between you and your DM. Or they spread lies. Remember I told you word witches, right? They confuse your masculine's mind to think that you're the karmic so he can work against you, because that's one of the ways that the union breaks, is if your twin does the unthinkable towards you. And a lot of the times this is remnants from a past life. Because his mind was tampered with, or there was some type of trauma that was unresolved, some type of violence or tower moment that happened in a past life that made his solar plexus or his crown chakra compromised in this lifetime, that allowed the dark forces to come and infiltrate. That's why some of you are like, how's my DM got a new karmic, or how is this magic working? Because they've already been compromised from a past lifetime. And your masculine, you have to understand too, these karmics, they're come from the same exact spirit. It's one exact spirit working amongst all these friends and family and karmic partners. It's just one spirit hijacking different bodies, all with the same goal. I told you to stop union here. That's why when some of you guys are like, how does my DM, someone commented today, it's like, how is it that my DM has multiple karmics that are doing magic on him all at the same time? It's the same exact succubus spirit, Jezebel spirit, using sex magic or love spells or whatnot to bind your DM. It happens, it even gets crazier as they're about to go into union or when they start to have a realization about who you are. That's when they get new karmics. Because a lot of the times, what happens is your masculine, he recognizes the karmic for who she is. He knows. Her magic stops working, then that dark spirit is like, oh fuck, you know what? Let's go get a new karmic. We got to go back to the drawing board. Let's mix it up. But a lot of the times, if you look into the astrology, the new karmic has the same chart as the old karmic. They're usually the same sign. They have the same configuration. They act the same. It's not too much different. Then your DM wakes up to it. By that time, he's so traumatized by dealing with the second karmic, he goes and picks up another karmic and gets further away from union until he learns, I have to heal myself. I have to deal with this spiritual war. The war is inside of me. It's not outside of me. These karmics are a manifestation of something evil and wicked that was implanted inside of me from childhood trauma, from addictions, from past life that I need to heal. It's like that. That's why I put on the cover Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Because you remember at the beginning of the movie, they both didn't even know that each other was assassins, right? Then the assassins that they worked for made them go against each other, not realizing that they were actually more powerful together. It always happens like that. First your DM's against you, then he's with you, but sometimes it's too late. And then whatever karmics that they're running with, they have to pick up their karma. Yeah, that's why they all look the same. They all act the same. It's one exact Jezebel spirit that your masculine has been binded to, manifesting in different bodies. If it's a feminine, if it's your divine feminine, it's a incubus, and they're all there just to suck and siphon the energy from your masculine's DNA and from your DNA to power up their satanic rituals and their darkness and their necromancy, which is reviving dead ancestors or banished ancestors to come back onto planet Earth to wreak more chaos and havoc and madness. In a completely, they're shapeshifters. That's why. And because remember, your DM is not doing their spiritual work because they're so distracted and wrapped up with karmics who look down on that, who tell them that they're weird, and your masculine just wants to belong. He's continuing to betray himself. It's the ultimate betrayal. And remember, the karmic, they already come from dark demonic bloodlines, right? So they already are just using the karmic to manifest fuckery and bullshit. So all they do is tell them, hey, him right there, bind his ass. Put magic on him. Go do this, go do that, go do that, go do that. But it's really to get to you. That's why a lot of the times when your masculine is asleep, he betrays you in such wicked ways. Because it's all in efforts to break your heart chakra and break the connection I told you. Because the karmic know that they can't do it. They know that. Because they're workers and all that type of stuff. They know about twin connections. And they know that they can't really touch that. So they make the masculine or the feminine break it themselves. But you want to know another thing too? And I'm going to go deeper into this when I go do the card reading on Patreon. Any individual, karmic family, friends, witchcraft practitioners, love spells that are done, binding spells, sex magic, all of that is karma. They always pick up karma from the Most High for impacting and trying to stop the mission that the twins have. Because these karmics don't realize it's bigger than them. Remember, they're being ran by dark forces. I'm going to just say another thing too. A lot of these karmics that get your masculine into spirituality, things like that, that's by design too. It's purposeful to bring your masculine to the dark side, to rituals and covens. A lot of these different readers on YouTube, they get commissioned by karmic friends and families and things like that to lie in their readings and shit like that, to stop unions from going. And they don't care because they're bitter and broken and dysfunctional. And they're also being used by dark forces. That's why in some of their readings, they want you to manifest the outcomes that they want. And you guys all put your collective energy towards those outcomes and those readings. And it'd be thousands and thousands of people watching it just for one or two people to break up those unions and to manifest those outcomes. You see how it works? You see how far this shit goes, this rabbit hole? Yeah. By the time your DM wakes up, they know at some point they recognize that the karmic family and friends and whatnot are dark. But they don't realize how dark until shit starts coming out the woodworks. And the divine, oh, trust me, the Most High is good. They'll start to show them. And when they show your masculine and he doesn't listen, he gets all their karma. So you guys have to understand this from this perspective. Your masculine has to get spiritually right. He has to do the spiritual fitness. You can't do it for him. You can't do rituals for him. You can't do spells to clear him. He has to do the work himself to clear those karmic bonds. Because all these karmics, it's a double-headed beast. You destroy one head. The masculine has to destroy the other one. You can't do it for him. Yeah. Someone said karmics tend to work with the masculine's mother or the DM sister, and even when they don't like the karmic can work magic on them to get them to play with her. And that's why the family, the mom, the sisters, and their kids or whatever, they end up getting spiritual husbands and wives by dealing with the karmic, because these karmics are plagues. They come through to kill, steal, and destroy, and just specifically for unions. So you guys need to make sure that you're doing your meditations, your clearing work, removing your energy from the toxic karmic cycle. Because when you pull out your energy, then they have to face each other. That's when the shadows start to come out. That's why you guys are like, union, my DM is wrapped up with this karmic or that karmic. You don't see it as that. See it as that's love magic, that's sex magic, that's a succubus. It's a Jezebel spirit that got binded to your masculine. And it's just manifesting it in the form of different bodies. Shapeshifters too. And they're really good at what they do. They show up, making your divine masculine think that you're the karmic, they're the divine feminine. They lie, they twist their mind up, they play with spell work, all kinds of shit just to stop union. Then they get those same karmics, they get tower moments too. By the time they realize that they were being used by the dark forces, it's too late. Take your power back. If your masculine knows that these karmics are working spells and they're still over there, that shows you that there's something severely up with him, wrong with him. For him to not realize that these people are trying to put him in spiritual bondage. They just think, oh, it's a love spell, it's whatever. Nah, it's spiritual bondage. It's a succubus spirit that's trying to bind your DNA and take over your Akashic records and use you in a ritual for necromancy to manifest low vibrational entities in their bloodline into a child. That's what this is all about. So instead of you having a divine child that's going to help, uplift the planet and change the world, they want you to create more demonic children that are going to stop New Earth from coming online, that are going to keep on recreating karmic cycles. Those are the notes that I had for y'all. That's what I have for y'all. So, I'm going to go on Karmic. Sorry, I said Karmic. I'm going to go on Patreon and I'm going to go ahead and finish up the spying from the 5D, what's happening with the DM and Karmic, the spiritual warfare messages. So, I hope y'all can join me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.